Today, I chose to wake up. I got out of my bed, I brushed my teeth, I opened my laptop while my coffee brewed, and I wrote a post on my blog. That's when I stopped and I realized that despite all that I had already done this morning, today, in general, I chose to wake up because I believed I could, so I did. I want to start out by sharing a story where my son and I had a very unexpected heart-to-heart about how he didn't believe he could pass the 6th grade. My son has been failing academically since going back to school after the COVID lockdowns. He had let go of his will to succeed for whatever reason, and he started to slip into this place where he no longer cared what happened to him or if he lost everything because of his grades. This place, it's a dangerous place, and I also knew it very well. I remember I looked at him as he hunched over, hiding his face from me and sobbing loudly to himself. And I said, "Look at me, please." He hesitated, but eventually he looked at me. And to be really honest with you, I was a little nervous. Do I know what I'm going to say next? Am I going to say the right thing? But I said, "I know in this moment it feels impossible. I know right now it feels like you will never be able to do it. I want you to know that I too deeply understand how it feels to think that everything's impossible and that it may not change and that you may not be able to stop feeling this way about it. But I also want you to know that you can and you will do this. Because I eventually came to understand that I could and would do anything that I wanted if I just simply believed in myself. Not only do I know that you will do this, but you will do well. And you may never remember how hard it actually was. You will succeed because you are worthy of success. You are special, and you are smart as well as capable." As he looked at me, he was still crying, and I did feel my own heart breaking because he felt he wasn't capable of passing the 6th grade. At that moment, staring into his tear-filled eyes, this child that I loved with every ounce of my being, I did question myself. Am I a good enough mom? Am I being honest enough with him? Do I really understand how he feels? Have I done everything wrong? And now he is permanently meant to feel terrible about himself, and I will never have the chance to fix it. Have I failed him? As I sat there and beat myself up with questions, taking my child's pain and making it a reflection of me as a mother, I decided to stop myself, and I tried to remind myself that this isn't about what I did or didn't do before this conversation occurred. It's about what I do right now. I dug deep to locate the feelings in myself that matched how he felt about himself and his situation. I closed my eyes, took a deep breath, and in a compassionate voice, I said, "I know I cannot change how you feel about this. I know I cannot make you believe that you can do this, even if I absolutely believe you can. But I want you to know that I want to be there for you. So would you please tell me how I can help you to believe in yourself? Would you share with me what you need from me in order to believe, as I do, that you absolutely can pass the 6th grade? I am your mother, and I love and believe in you and in everything that you are. Let me be there for you and guide you. You do not need to do this alone, because I will always be right here to tell you how wonderful and amazing you are. All you have to do is listen and believe me, and maybe one day you will begin to believe in yourself." It was like the energy in the car shifted as soon as I finished saying those words. Here we were, parked in the driveway, just having a conversation. It was very late at night. It was a long day. We had just gotten home. But suddenly the energy had shifted from hopelessness to curiosity, from worthlessness to, hey, I may be able to do this after all. From sadness to gratitude and feeling supported. My son went from feelings of negativity to feelings of, I have somebody in my corner. He had an issue in his 6th grade science class. He started to think he was unworthy. That went into the feelings of complete worthlessness. And he started to feel like he would never succeed. And when we got down to the root of it, it came down to a slideshow about dolphins that blocked him from believing that he could pass, that he could succeed, that he could do this. To him, this was tearing his world apart. It brought him to tears. It caused him a great deal of distress. He forgot that he didn't have to be alone in these feelings. These feelings were not just for him, that he could share them and somebody could offer that support. There was always another way. Then I realized almost everyone forgets about the people who are there for them, ready to offer support and empathy. We all forget the people who will shine a light when the darkness is blinding us. The people who will send us a smile at the grocery store, even if we don't know who they are. And even if it is just the polite thing to do. We forget the people who will invite us to take the space we need to speak our vulnerable truths and will still love us through the darkness we think we cannot overcome. These people believe in us despite all the mistakes we might have made, despite any pain we may have caused ourselves or others, despite any trauma, despair, or heartache we have survived. I remember this moment in my life, maybe about 3 years ago, where I was looking for guidance and I turned to this app on my phone. It was called the YouVersion Bible. I didn't know what I was looking for, but I decided to look at their guided plans to help me overcome my anxiety. I'd been dealing with so much anxiety that, even driving a car had become so difficult for me. I found this one called the 7-Day Anxiety Detox, Practical Tips for Biblically Overcoming Anxiety. And it was written by Brittany Moses. It was a 7-day plan, and on the 5th day, there was this exercise. It was a quick exercise, and the instructions read, look around where you currently are and count 5 things that are red. I remember I put my phone down and I located 5 things around me, and I remember taking these mental notes of what they were, just in case the upcoming instructions were going to ask for that information, because I didn't know where this was going to go. When I went on to read the rest of the instructions, Moses wrote this, without taking your eyes from this page, can you remember how many things surrounded you that were yellow? I remember how silly I felt. I had looked around, found these 5 red things, made mental notes of what they were, and I missed everything else that surrounded me. I simply answered the question or solved the riddle and left out the details because they were irrelevant to the instructions. But what she said next, what she actually wrote next, probably will stay with me for the rest of my life. She wrote, let's say red is your anxiety and yellow is your faith. The reasons to have faith and think of other solutions and be grateful were around you. But you could not see it because you were too busy looking at all the reasons to find red or have anxiety about it, even if they both existed. Then she continued to say, we will either look for ways to affirm our anxieties or seek ways to trust God and be grateful for what we do have. I deeply appreciated this lesson. I found a lot of strength and purpose for myself after this quick exercise because it spoke to me. And it showed me that I had been missing so much by allowing myself to look only for my anxieties, my self-doubts, my weaknesses, or really just about anything that belittled who I was inside, rather than to put my faith in something, anything, or just in myself for that matter. It's funny because when I remember my past, I remember it as all negative, when it truly wasn't. And it makes me feel so bad when I try to think of believing in myself today. It's like, yes, I have experienced pain, trauma, sadness, loneliness. I have been codependent, addicted, trapped in negativity, felt broken, scared, anxious, and survived a ton of really bad panic attacks. But yet, here I am. Yes, I have hurt people, I have harmed people, I have broken other people's hearts, I have even broken my own. I have failed at school, I have failed at work, sometimes I have failed as a mother. I have let people down, I have lied to people, I have closed doors I wish I had never closed. I have felt regret, begged for mercy, lied to myself, created drama in my life, and broke the law even if I didn't get caught. But again, here I am. I have questioned my choices, went against my gut, asked for guidance without taking heed of it, lost myself in passionate and even boring relationships, and gave love to people who mercilessly abused me and themselves. But yet again, here I am. To get even deeper, and I'm gonna go really, really, really deep right now, I want you to know that I've even stared down the darkest void that nearly resulted in committing suicide. I did swallow a bottle of pills and chase them down with a bottle of wine. I have felt the most painful moments of rejection, abandonment, hopelessness, and worthlessness. I did neglect myself, and I was neglected by others who I thought were supposed to protect me. But I still want you to know that I am here. And that here I am. Here I am still alive, still loved by some, still important to some, still valuable, still vulnerable, still trying my best every single day. Here I am. We cannot know what lies beyond the pain and heartache until we take the pain and heartache into our mind, our bodies, and our souls, until we truly feel it within the whole of our being. And find the courage to understand it and honor it while we summons the strength to believe that everything is figureoutable. That not only is everything survivable, but it will build us up and remind us to grow. We cannot deny ourselves that breath of life if we haven't begun truly living it the way we knew at some point, whether we were little or big or whenever it was, at some point in our life we knew that we could and we would. And we can't deny ourselves that right. We cannot forget to take small baby steps every day to find purpose, to find compassion, acceptance, to find love for both ourselves and the people we see, the people we know, and the people we might meet. To believe in ourselves is to believe that even the smallest things we do actually matter. That these small things, they are valuable, they're important, they're prevalent, they matter. We are much more than the people we see when we look at ourselves in the mirror, than the bodies that we live in temporarily, than the people who don't like us and reject us, than the hopeless void of despair we experience when we don't see all of the beauty that is within us. Or when we just feel like life has gotten to be too much for us. Because we are more. If you do anything today, whether you simply open your eyes, or you shed a tear, or you drink a sip of something, eat a bite of something, listen to a good song or a video, or even this conversation right now. If you go for a walk, or you talk to a friend, a coworker, a family member, whatever you do today, remember that in that moment, you believed you could and you did. And I want to ask you to just honor that you did something because you believed you could. And then you did it. Thank you so much for coming today to listen to this. I hope that you take as much value out of it as I put into making it. And just choose today to be all that you can be. Choose today to believe that you can do it. And remember, like I said, despite all that I did this morning, despite all that was already accomplished, I slowed myself down and I said to myself, today I chose to wake up. And that was the most monumental, the most perfect, the most awesome moment of the entire day. So today, I ask you to find the one thing that you did, even if it's just choosing to wake up, and use that as the fuel that you need to start believing in yourself. Thank you.